Perfect timing. Just about to do another film, and as I was walking along to another patch of primroses, or a couple of patches, and a little lone bluebell I wanted to film and photograph, and I heard some tinkering and turned around, somebody was actually coming up behind me. So I just thought I'd show you that because I mentioned it on the past video. I finished filming about 60 seconds ago. Here's a patch of primroses. I'm in Fortley Hall again. Not quite fully open, so I'll come back and film them again. But see if I can get a nice deep coloured one and get some close ups of it. Look at that. Even on the screen that looks good. Vibrant yellow. I've got yellow-bellied toads. Don't love yellow bellies that vivid. Now, I'm going to just talk about the corruption, because the YouTube side of my things doesn't really see much of it. So I thought I'd do this little video before the primroses come out fully and just sort of talk about something I've posted recently and what I'm going to post in the future. I did a post, you can do a search on it. I have 2 blogs on corruption, that is. I've got 14 blogs altogether, but 2 are on the miserable subject of corruption. One is on Blogger, which is owned by Google, and called A Saint Called All Nights. The other one is on WordPress, and it's called The Saint They Call All Nights. But my blog address would be allnightsblog.wordpress.com, or wherever it works out, I'm not sure. Anyway, very recently, and for the first time in well over a year, maybe 2, I collected a load of evidence on the NHS, put it in the same place so that I could transfer it to DVD for solicitors, and then thought, you know what, it would be good to post a series of things showing what I've got, all in the same place, now that I've got 20,000 people a month or whatever it is coming to my things. So I did. Now the titles to the posts, and they're in 2 parts, are slightly different depending on what blog you're looking at, WordPress or Blogger. One is called, I believe, the Ultimate NHS Breakdown, and I think the other one's called the NHS's Ultimate Breakdown. On those blogs, and completely free to use if you're a victim, are 24 recordings which will contain general practitioners and hospital doctors. Oh wow, there's a plus. Please come back this way. That's an orange tip butterfly, and I've just had a blue butterfly fly past me. It's the sort of thing I get excited about because they're not out for very long. They're very nice things. Look at that. I can mark orange tip on my tags. Huh. Take a look at my bike. Something I don't show much of, I suppose. Wonderful thing that is. Was pricey, at over £1,000, but only a quarter of the price of the bike that I had custom built that was nicked by bailiffs. But I'll get into that on my blogs at another stage. Yeah, there's a couple of dozen recordings. Doctors lying about the existence of drugs, lying about what drugs do, lying about the existence of the NHS departments, you know, even claiming that there's no such department anywhere in the country when there are dozens. And one I pulled because I caught one falsifying the test results of an ultrasound scan, and he admitted it. It's on tape with all the other stuff that no solicitors seem to want to even listen to, and neither does the news media or the tabloids. Right, even though I had a tabloid phone me, mind you, I might not have mentioned what I had. They just don't ask the right questions. They think, all these big companies think they have it worked out. Here's a set of questions. Phone this guy up who's just contacted us and asking these questions. That'll work out if he's telling the truth or not, whether he's got a case or not, or she, as the case may be. I'm afraid life isn't quite that simple, and these people think they're the only intelligent people and the most intelligent people on the face of the earth. You are not. That goes for a special double for both solicitors and doctors. Arrogance that I get. Not always. You know, my current GP who's just moved, he's okay. He treated me as if I was of the same level as he was, intellectually and professionally. But unfortunately, a lot of them don't do that. They seem to think every patient that walks through the door is some sort of slimy creature that just crawled out from under a rock. Certainly I had one called Dr. Gubby who was like that. He was probably one of the worst. I could name Dr. Ibijaru and probably a few others. I could name good ones too. Dr. Darman, Dr. Rahman, but Dr. Rahman was pandering to the NHS's wishes at my expense, but anyway. Yeah, there's a couple of dozen recordings and loads of documents, and it's over 2 parts: NHS Ultimate Breakdown or the Ultimate NHS Breakdown. It will look like a lot, it won't be all of it, and I'm talking about just the NHS. It won't be all of it. It was just a few important things I got together. Probably about 70% of my recordings I don't even know what's on them because I forgot to rename them. Right, and with my memory I won't remember things. And sometimes I remember big things and think, how the hell did I forget that? Sometimes I forget what ailments I've got when I'm trying to explain to a doctor because I have a bad memory. Fibrofog from fibromyalgia, it's a symptom, look it up. So, I've done the NHS in a 2-parter, but I've now collected together the details of the DWP, ATOS and ICE. I did that this morning. After I did the NHS, I did the police, which will consist of 2 police forces eventually when the compiling is finished. What else? So police, local councils, that'll be 4 or 5 different local councils. Councils, well, it's the evil trinity, isn't it? DWP, NHS, local councils, police. Oh yeah, a little involvement I was in concerning, I should say, think about what you're saying, Martin, a certain Supreme Court case. I have that too. I even have the figure stated to me by someone else on tape. I have a lot of things on tape. I've forgotten 80% of it. So if all that sounds pretty amazing for the 20% I remember, imagine what there is lying around to be found on the others. Yeah, so I have a massive amount of unsorted stuff, massive amount. It probably measures 70 gigabytes, maybe even over 100. I've used 5 different devices, 3 phones. Now I've used 6 devices, 7 devices. Oh, probably more than that. So yeah, if you're sort of interested in, or you suspect something's wrong in the country, or something that you think there's something not right about the NHS, or there's something not right about the police, and they're in the news every 5 minutes, well, I've been working on them for quite a few years, and a lot of the stories are very similar to stories I've posted months or even years ago. I did contact the media years ago, so they're probably running out and going, oh look, we found out this, when all they've done is just gone out and done exactly what I've said on my blog. Unfortunately, like everybody else, and all the public services that all think they're highly intelligent, along with all the personal injury companies, you know, do you know what a blog is? It's a diary, right? It's an online diary, and you post stuff on it, and it gets dated and stamped. You couldn't find a better way of time-stamping something than posting something online that stays there with the date and time on it. So all the time that you've been copying or mirroring, right, or cheating me out of my stories, all you've been doing is digging yourself bloody big holes, because eventually people are going to notice, and they're going to turn around to the news media, who love to go around pointing the fingers and accusing everybody else of getting up to no good, and go, guess what, you're up to no good, and it'll be worse than what happened to the news of the world, and very few people will escape it, because I have the recorded delivery slips to just about every single national newspaper in the UK that I sent evidence to. So they all knew my name, they all knew what I was doing, all they had to do was look me up, and there is a J. That is, I'm sure, a J. Let's see if I can get rid of it. So I've had an orange tip. Damn it, I can't see the screen properly. Let me see, where are you? It's always hard to realise where you're... I can see something. Oh, damn it. Something's on the path now, but it's probably a magpie now that I've turned it. Is that it there with its tail sticking up? No, it's a shadow. There was a bird there. There was a bird just there, just in that undergrowth. And there was one down there which I'm sure was a jay. Oh, I can see that light spot now, I think it's just part of a tree trunk. Okay, I missed that. Yeah, the exact address of my blogger blog is a saint called allnights.blogspot.com, or you can put .co.uk instead, it doesn't matter, and I've got my hand on an ant's nest. I could feel the ants crawling over my hands. And the WordPress one is allnightsblog.wordpress.com. Oh, you couldn't have been an orange tip butterfly that flew right in front of the camera. You had to be a little white. Nice of you to make an appearance. Small white. Why do I call it little white? I can't, sometimes I actually forget things that have been etched or burned into my brain since I was a child. That butterfly is called a small white, and I called it a little white. But I still know they're Primula viris. Anyway, I'm going to go and film that bluebell.